Hi everybody and welcome back. Today I'd like to talk about 4 keystone habits that can greatly improve a person's life. So let's begin with this. We're all familiar with habits. We know what good habits are and we know what bad habits are, right? And if you're like me, you've probably had plenty of both in your own life, perhaps more of one than the other. But there is another category of habits that are called keystone habits. A keystone habit is any good habit that we embrace that automatically translates into other good habits, almost like a domino effect that brings about positive change and benefits in our life. In other words, you embrace one good habit over here, and because it's a keystone habit, then there's a cascading effect into other areas of our life, which we can only benefit from. Now today, I'd like to share with you 4 keystone habits that have greatly improved my life and I think might be helpful to you as well, especially if you're getting up in years or close to your retirement years. But first, if you're seeing me for the first time, I'm Ronnie. Thanks for stopping by. If you like the content here, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and feel free to subscribe. And if you'd like to follow an outline of today's video, I have an outline posted in the description box that you'll find down below. So here are 4 keystone habits that have greatly improved my life. Number 1, regular exercise is the first keystone habit. I know you've heard it before, but please hear me out before you tune me out because I want to demonstrate how this works. When you decide to dedicate 3 or 4 days a week to regular exercise, in response to that, you will have more energy, you will feel motivated throughout the day, your blood pressure will go down, you will have less stress, you will eat healthier throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, you will sleep better. And as we get older and sleep becomes an issue for us, who wouldn't like to sleep better at night? And by the way, I sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. Now, this is how a keystone habit works. You start with one habit over here, and then that one habit has a domino effect into other areas of our life. Furthermore, studies have shown that people who exercise regularly will drink less alcohol, will smoke less cigarettes, or ultimately quit. They feel less depressed and are more productive at work. Those who exercise regularly are generally more happier than they otherwise would be, are more motivated, and make healthier eating choices. Regular exercise also helps us with insomnia, as I mentioned a moment ago, memory loss, and listen to this, and in some instances, it helps combat Alzheimer's disease. When we exercise, in response to that, the human body produces feel-good hormones, and these hormones are called serotonin and endorphins. Now, these endorphins and serotonins, they make us feel good, and they lift our mood and help fight disease. These feel-good hormones or endorphins also boost up our self-confidence. And then, of course, there is the matter of self-discipline when it comes to the response of exercise. It requires a great deal of self-discipline to exercise on a daily basis or 3 or 4 days out of the week, which by extension improves our self-control in other areas of our life, making it easier for us to say no to destructive choices. For example, if you're going to exercise the self-discipline and put in the effort to go to bed early at night so that you can get up early enough in the morning to exercise before your day begins, then you're not going to just turn right around from that and hit the nearest fast food joint and order that heart-clogging deluxe breakfast. No, you're going to be more disciplined than that. Experts say that regular exercise is like taking a magic pill for the brain. And if there was ever a drug that could be invented or developed that could do for your health what exercise can do, then that would be the most important and valuable pharmaceutical ever invented by mankind. Exercise even improves our physical appearance, believe it or not. When you exercise, especially as we get older, But when you exercise, you lose body fat, you get leaner, you become healthier, you have better posture, you stand up taller and straighter, and you even look better. You say, well, Ronnie, you exercise and you don't look that good. I know, but just think how bad I would look if I didn't exercise. As we get older, exercise and healthy eating just becomes so vital for our health. And it affects the quality of our life and ultimately affects the quality of our retirement life. So just one keystone habit like this, like regular exercise, can completely transform your life in a dramatic way in so many other areas. Number two, the second keystone habit that's important for us to embrace is, listen, it's simple but profound, tracking your expenses. That's right, just tracking your expenses. On this channel, I talk about all things financial, especially in the relation to getting older and retirement. I talk about saving money, getting out of debt, frugal living, and all those sorts of things. I've got just plenty of videos on those topics, especially when it comes to personal finance, especially at how it's connected to our retirement or our retirement planning. Tracking your expenses in personal finance is one of the most important keystone habits that you can embrace. And here's why. When you take just an hour or two each month to sit down and track your spending habits for the month, you become more aware of your spending habits, you get better at budgeting your money, you improve your saving habits, it allows you to identify all of your spending habits, especially your bad spending habits, and it helps enable you set better financial goals. Staying on top of your bills becomes easier. Investing your money becomes easier, and it reduces a lot of the uncertainty in regards to our our personal finance. This is why we need to track our expenses. This single habit of tracking your expenses makes you more aware of where your money is going and simply cascades over into other areas of your life. Now, if you're up in years and you just don't know where your money is going, and or if you really want to start planning for your retirement, it's time to sit down and just start tracking your expenses. And a good place to begin is Amazon. If you're an Amazon shopper, go to Amazon, hit that tab that says your orders, and look back on your purchasing history just over the last year. You'll be astonished at what you've done. You can look back over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, and you'll be astonished at how much you have spent on Amazon, plus the shipping that's involved there, or that Prime membership, which is another way that they gouge us. Just take a hard look at your purchasing history on Amazon and try to decide how many of those things were really essential and how many of those were just impulse buys. Another area that you can look is your subscription services. And do I need to say anything else about that? So just track your expenses, and then it just cascades over into so many other areas of your life. Number three, the third keystone habit that I have embraced that has helped me over the years is avoiding debt. Now, this is related to the previous point, but it goes a lot deeper. One of the things that makes personal finance so difficult for people is debt, having too much debt, especially having high interest debt. When we have debt, too much debt, or high interest debt, we are just hemorrhaging money. If we carry too much debt, balancing the budget becomes almost impossible, not to mention the impossibility of being able to save money. Avoiding debt is a keystone habit that can literally transform your finances, lower your stress, and set you up for a better financial future. When we avoid debt, it frees up money that can be put to better use in other areas of our life, such as having financial independence or just building up our nest egg for retirement. And furthermore, if you're able to become 100% debt-free, it literally transforms your life on every possible level. It changes everything. If you can become 100% debt-free and clear up your mortgage, it changes everything. Your whole life completely changes. Now, this is how powerful a keystone habit really is. It's almost like a snowball. You avoid debt and you free up money and it just snowballs. And you pay off a debt and it snowballs and you're building up and building up. And then you pay off all of your debt and that snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you pay off your mortgage and then holy cow, all that snowballing is now your money. That snowball effect really works. When I paid off my debts and my expenses, it became easier to save more money. And the less money I spend on non-essentials, the easier it becomes to not spend more money on non-essentials in the future. All of these cascading effects begin to pile up in a positive way. And then one day you just wake up and realize that you're now financially free. You've got financial independence. Avoiding debt and paying off all of your debt is the best way to make your money go a lot further and last a lot longer. And it sets you up for retirement. If I have to keep working at a job that I don't really like so that I can afford to make payments on all of my debts, then I'm never going to be financially independent. But if you become 100% debt-free, if you avoid debt along the way, ultimately striving to become 100% debt-free, then you become free on every level. And you'll be able to retire on a lot less money. Avoiding debt is a very, very powerful keystone habit that just cascades over into every other area of your life. When you have little debt or no debt, all of the money that you have and all the money that you make is yours to just use it any way that you want, rather than it going to the man or the bank. And then number 4, another keystone habit that's been very important to me is not watching those 24-hour news channels. Now, the previous keystone habits that I've mentioned, tracking your expenses and avoiding debt and exercising, those are pretty standard across the board as far as keystone habits are concerned. And I just attached my own insights to those. But this keystone habit, not watching those 24-hour news channels, this is my personal opinion. And this one's related to my own state of mind and mental health. 24-hour news channels are a phenomenon of the modern world we live in. These channels are divisive. They lure you in with clickbait, and they're filled, for the most part, with brain-rotting commentary. Now, these channels, for the most part, don't keep us informed, they keep us inflamed. And I'm not talking about one channel or the other, I mean all of them, whether it's a liberal channel, conservative or moderate or anything else in between. They're all doing the same thing, polarizing people. And the business model of these channels is to simply divide and profit. The more divisive that they can make the issues, the more viewers they get. And the more viewers they get, the more profit they will make. And for me personally, there is zero benefit from having my mind filled with that stuff 24 hours a day. So it was important for me to develop this keystone habit of limiting my intake so that I can focus upon more important areas of my life, like exercising and money and personal finance and getting out of debt and tracking my expenses. Yes, we should stay informed of the world that is around us. I mean, crime and politics, the economy, Social Security, what's the government going to do there, what's the stock market doing, so forth and so on. But you know what? Too much of that information will fill you with worry, and it will cause you to have anxiety. At least I know it did with me. One of the best decisions I ever made was to start avoiding or limiting my viewing of these nonstop news channels. As in response to that, I'm talking about the cascading effect of a keystone habit. In response to stop watching that stuff, my stress level dropped And guess what else? I stopped arguing with strangers online. I can't think of a more wasteful use of my time than that. And you know what? Now that I'm retired, there's just too many fish for me to go catch, and too many days for me to spend on the beach, and too many nights for me to go out dancing with my wife, and too many days for me to spend with my grandchildren for me to waste another single minute on all of that tomfoolery. I just want to have peace in my heart and peace in my mind, don't you? I don't want to be upset all the time. I just want to move forward with my life. I want to be able to exercise, eat healthy, save money, live an active lifestyle, and just be grateful for all the good things that I have in my life. And my life is filled with an abundance of them. And I think these Keystone Habits, as well as others, have helped get me to that place. So there you go. Those are 4 Keystone Habits for a better life. Of course, there's many more, certainly a lot more. And I'd love to hear your ideas about the Keystone Habits that you embrace or that you think are valuable and important. So leave me a comment down below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and feel free to subscribe. I'm Ronnie. Take care, and we'll see you next time.